Hi everyone and welcome to the channel. Now just a quick video today. I thought it'd be interesting to catch up with this Wyse Cx0. Now it's been about a year since we first saw this on the channel. Back then did a video on it, sort of took a look around it, installed Windows 98 on it along with some kid-friendly sort of programs and games. Link to that original video down in the description if you haven't seen it and you want to check it out. And then back in Christmas 2021, gave this to my kids, and over the course of the past year, it's been a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old just sort of playing with this, messing about with it, having some fun with it as a sort of first computer. It's now Christmas 2022, so I thought it'd be interesting just to have a quick look at this and just see how we got on with it really, see how it's survived the experience. Now when I say survived, I don't mean sort of physically survived. I mean there's no moving parts in this after all. I wouldn't expect it to give us any problems in that regard. And also it's spent the last year just sort of attached to the back of a monitor, something like this. So the only physical interaction they've had with the PC has just been to, just to press the button to switch it on. No, I'm thinking more in terms of the software. You see, in the early days, I mean, letting them play on it was little difference between, say, that and just letting a cat walk up and down your keyboard for a bit. And remember, the OS on here is Windows 98. I mean, if you tried to move or delete some important files that it needs to function, there's very little that Windows 98 will do to stop you. Indeed, the last thing that I actually did with this before giving it to them was take an image, of the little solid state disk that was in here. And I was fully prepared to be burning that image back to the disk a number of times throughout this last year. Now that, believe it or not, is the original install of Windows 98. I haven't had to, re-image this thing once. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit messed about with, but nonetheless, that is the original one. In fact, there's only been 2 programs that have caused any sort of problems on here. Now the first one's been this Microsoft Plus Paint It, this sort of kids version of Paint. It looks a little bit like normal Paint, just with these extra kind of effects and things added on, and when you paint using these effects, it plays sound effects and all sorts. Sometimes this thing crashes, but only if it's been left open for sort of hours on end. I mean, maybe there's some kind of memory leak or something in this program. I don't think it's the fault of the machine. As I say, only happens when it's been on for ages. And the second one was good old Winamp. Don't know how, but just basically broke one day. I suspect that they'd moved a file or deleted something, done something. Anyway, quick reinstall, fixed it. But yeah, no problem with that. That's been one of these programs that there's sort of proven really popular on here, dragging loads of songs in to create a playlist, to kind of bop along to. That's been an activity that they've both really enjoyed doing a lot. But yeah, as you can see, it's a little bit of a mashup. I think we've got the Windows 98 sort of wallpaper. I think we might have the cursors off that theme. We've still got the icons from, I don't know what theme that is off the top of my head. But this would really depend on what day, or heck even what time of day I got this PC back to have a look at. The different themes and sound effects and cursors and icons, all that kind of stuff, each one must have been on about 20 times or something throughout the year. Especially the youngest really enjoyed sort of setting those and seeing all the different sounds that it makes and the different kind of pictures, if you like, on the desktop wallpaper. Yeah, that's another thing that I've really enjoyed. It's been a lot of fun with them. That, I mean, it's not the default screensaver, to be fair. I mean, in terms of the other stuff that's proved popular, the youngest really liked sort of going in Paint It, as I say, and doing pictures on there, or tapping about in Write to, you know, make stories sort of thing. I don't mind, it's just practicing typing on the keyboard and whatnot, isn't it? I mean, heck, even when it comes to holding a mouse, to begin with, if I can untangle the mouse, just kind of holding it sideways like that and clicking, you know, the button with the thumb, which was kind of weird, but yeah, eventually got them to hold it properly, all good. But yeah, as I say, for the youngest, right, you know, the Paint It, Solitaire even quite likes dragging the cards about, you know, that kind of stuff. The elder one, as I say, had a lot of fun in Winamp, a bit more into the games perhaps rather than the sort of creative side of things. So Hover, that's been played a lot, Chips Challenge, Tetris, those sorts of things. So yeah, it's you know, it's been a lot of fun for them really, which was exactly why I wanted to set this up. There was one other thing that I just wanted to sort of touch on here, and I'd been chatting with someone about finding the sort of device and vendor IDs in Windows 98 to help you identify sort of unknown hardware where, you know, where basically the OS doesn't know what it is. Now I think from Windows XP it was, or maybe it was Windows 2000, I can't remember, but from that sort of era-ish onwards, when you looked in the sort of properties of an unknown device, as you can see here, all it says is PCI card. Windows would sort of very helpfully in here tell you the you know, the device and vendor ID numbers, and you could put them into a search engine to look them up, and that'd tell you what it was. So then you could go off and find the driver, you know, nice and easily for it, because, you know, PCI card isn't exactly helpful when you're looking for drivers. Now Windows 98 and its ilk, it doesn't actually tell you that information here, but you can find it out without having to resort to installing third-party software. So what I like to do is, if you open up a DOS prompt and run hwinfo/UI, you know, with the UI switch from within your Windows directory, it'll open up the Windows hardware info utility. Now it's quite heavy on the text, this, but if you scroll down to find your unknown device and you look here, it'll give you the registry key for that device, and in it are those numbers that you want. Now yes, you could go search it in the registry for this, but personally I just find this method of of getting it a lot easier. So if we look there, we've got the vendor ID of 1106 for this particular device, and the device ID is 3288. And if you stick those numbers into one of the various websites that looks them up for you, it'll tell you that that's the built-in sort of via HD audio thing. You know, the built-in audio on the little main board inside the little Cx0. Now, as far as I'm aware, there aren't any Windows 98 drivers for that. By all means, if I'm wrong, you know, please drop a comment below and you know, let me know. But that's why I use this little sort of plug-in USB audio dongle thing. It just kind of bypasses that to get audio out of this. But yeah, nice little tip there. So if you're looking for your vendor and device IDs in the Windows 9X system, have a look in hardware info. It'll tell you in there. So there we go, just a quick little catch-up, as I say, with this Wyse Cx0. So, I mean, not only has it survived its first sort of year, its its Windows 98 install has as well. It has been really problem-free, essentially. I've actually been really impressed with this. It's been one of those things that I've just been able to switch on and let them get on with it. And it's absolutely been worthwhile to do. Kids have had loads of fun with it. In fact, the eldest is now graduated onto a Windows XP machine, which I made out of another Wyse thin client. I'll drop a link down to the video in the description if you want to have a look at that. But yeah, they've had loads of fun, and I think they might have even sneakily learnt a little bit along the way. So I've been really happy with this, and it's totally been worth doing. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that little catch up there. Usual thing, if you did, give us a thumbs up or a comment down below. But for now, I'm just going to say thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.